Let's take a look at the action plan screen in PF Director. So when you're sitting down with a client and thinking of ways to increase their net worth, either through business growth improvements or perhaps tax planning or any other method, you've got two options for creating action plan items. You've got a toggle over here as a basic and advanced toggle. Now the basic toggle allows you to create a basic action plan item. So that might be perhaps the tax benefits of incorporating the sole trader business. And what this form allows you to do is show how their bank balance and overall net worth as a result will increase as a result of carrying out this action plan effectively. So for an example, we'll have incorporation and description. You can put in whatever you want, corporation of SE business. Now the annual impact, we're going to say that for this particular client, if they incorporate, they'll save tax of £2,000 per year. And they're expected to incorporate at the end of this year. Priority is going to be high because it's important to this client. But the tax benefits are going to be ongoing, so they're going to be paying less tax every year as a result of this incorporation this year. Help needed, yes, we're going to help with them. So an accountant is going to help them. I'm going to click save there. So what that's now done is added that action plan item to the action plan, and it will also update all the projected charts for the future in terms of net worth and the individual bank balance increase as well every year. Now the second option for adding an action plan item is the advanced form. So this allows us as accountants, because we've got lots of knowledge in terms of double entry bookkeeping, what we can do is pinpoint exactly how a particular action is going to increase various different assets or decrease liabilities in the future for this individual. So you can think of it as a double entry future bookkeeping journal, really. So as an example, let's plot out the effect of buying a buy-to-let property for this client in the future. So we'll call this purchase BTL property. We'll leave the description blank for now. So the effective date, this is going to be, let's call it 31st of March 2023. Priority is medium. Responsible individual is going to be the client themselves. Do they need help? No, not at this stage. Okay, so is it going to be a recurring benefit or is it going to be a one-off transaction, for example? So in this case, the purchase of the property is a one-off transaction. So now this is the interesting bit. So when we get to in terms of adding the assets and liabilities and the effect on those, we can select an item. So let's say they're going to purchase a new property. So we're going to add a new asset. So that's going to be a residential property in this case. Okay, and there's a house. We'll call it a buy-to-let property. We'll call it new property. We can flesh out the rest of the details later. We add asset, that's added it there. We'll give the projected value of the property £250,000. Then we'll add the associated mortgage that will come with that new property in the future. New property mortgage, we'll call that. We'll tie it in with the new property. And we'll say the client's going to get a mortgage for £150,000. Now we'll add a new item, and we'll also take into account the fact there's going to be legal fees and perhaps stamp duty as well. So we'll add an expense here for say £4,000. And the balancing figure is obviously going to be the deposit and the legal fees are paid out to the bank account. So we'll select the bank current account, and we'll say that's going to be £104,000, isn't it? Okay, so the journal balances, and that's ready to save. So that's now added this particular action plan item as well to the client's action plan. And all those different line entries on that double entry journal will affect the various different assets and liabilities for this particular client. So it allows us to create a lot more detail and really pinpoint for each individual client how each individual transaction is going to affect their financial future if they go ahead with that